The Galactic Academy's amphitheater fell silent as Professor Zixter's crystalline form shimmered with anticipation. For 3 centuries, the ancient philosopher had taught the brightest minds from across 17 star systems. Yet none had ever solved what they called the impossible riddle. Jake Morrison sat in the back row, still adjusting to the low gravity of the station orbiting Kepler 442b. As Earth's first exchange student at the prestigious institution, he had spent the last 2 months feeling constantly out of his depth. The other students beings of pure energy, hive-minded collectives, and species whose intelligence stretched across multiple dimensions made him feel like a child. Playing at university. Today, Zixter announced, their voice resonating through translation matrices. I present the challenge that has defined my career. In all my years of teaching thousands of students from the greatest civilizations in the galaxy, not one has provided the correct answer within the allotted time. The Villian student beside Jake, a floating brain encased in bioluminescent gel, pulsed nervously. The test begins now. Zixter's form shifted, projecting holographic symbols into the air. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case from which I am never released. Yet I am used by almost every person. What am I? The amphitheater erupted. The collective of Andromeda 7, a consciousness shared among 47 bodies, began rapid calculations, their processors humming. The Viridian's gel darkened as they accessed 10,000 years of genetic memory. A crystalline Kirin unfurled sensory appendages, scanning quantum possibilities. Jake blinked. His hand went up. Zyxtor froze, their crystalline body brightening in surprise. The entire amphitheater turned toward the lone human, Mr. Morrison. You have an answer already. 3 seconds have passed. It's pencil lead, Jake said. Graphite. You mine it, put it in wood, and people use it to write. Well, we used too. Now it's mostly tablets. The silence that followed was absolute. The Villian turned a shocked shade of amber. The collective's 47 bodies stopped mid-calculation. Even the professors in the gallery leaned forward. Zixter's crystalline structure spun rapidly. Academic shock. That is correct. How did you solve it so quickly? The collective requires an average of 17 minutes. The Viridian record is 43 minutes. You solved it in 3 seconds. Jake shifted awkwardly. It's just a riddle. My grandpa used to tell me these on road trips. Road trips? The Villian echoed, struggling with the concept. Yeah, traveling long distances in ground vehicles for fun. We'd play word games, tell riddles. Professor Zixter drifted closer. You mean Earth children solve cognitive puzzles for entertainment, not for academic assessment? Well, yeah. Kids do them all the time. There are books full of them. Newspapers used to print them daily. The collective spoke in unison. We do not understand. Our species uses our processing power for theoretical physics and dimensional mathematics. The idea of creating unsolvable-seeming problems for amusement is alien. An Athraxian professor, resembling a mantis the size of a horse, clicked their mandibles. Perhaps this explains the human paradox. What paradox? Jake asked. Zixter answered, their tone shifting from condescension to reverence. Your species has been spacefaring for only 87 years. You have no telepathy, no quantum consciousness, no distributed minds. By every metric we use, humans should be millennia behind us. Yet your scientists solve problems that stump our greatest thinkers. Your engineers build solutions we never considered. Your diplomats resolve conflicts we deemed impossible. The Aphraxian nodded. We believed it was chance. Fresh perspective. It is not chance, Zixter said, glowing with excitement. Your species has been training creative problem-solving since childhood, not as work, but as play. You build lateral thinking into your culture. Jake thought of his grandfather, of crossword puzzles with his mom, of his little sister's obsession with brain teasers. I guess we just like figuring things out, he said. Makes life more interesting. The Virilian's gel shifted to contemplative green. My species inherits intelligence. We never learn. We receive knowledge, but we also inherit the same limitations. Our collective thinks only in parallel logic. Another student added, we never learn to think sideways. Zixter addressed the hall. For 3 centuries, I used this riddle to humble the proud. I never imagined it would reveal the unique gift of a species we considered primitive. Jake flushed. We're not that special. You play with impossibility, Zixter said gently. Where others see obstacles, humans see games. As class ended, students from dozens of species approached Jake, asking about Earth's puzzles and games. The collective requested copies of his grandfather's joke books. The villain wanted to understand puns. Jake opened his tablet and shared one of his favorites. What has hands but cannot clap? The responses came slowly. Minds unaccustomed to wordplay struggled. But something new filled the amphitheater. Laughter, curiosity, the delight of not knowing. A clock, Jake revealed, grinning at the groans and glowing pulses of appreciation. His grandfather would have been proud.